Please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
Douglas Sneed, 488-935.
All right, Douglas, my name is Brennan Kelsey. Along with me, Tony Marabella and Ms. Pearl Wiles will be your panel. I'll read some information to the record, ask you some questions. You can respond at the end. You can make a statement. We'll take a vote. I see you have Mr. Kerry Myers who will speak at the appropriate time and Ms. Susan Hamby who will speak at the appropriate time. Douglas Sneed, DOC number 488-935, second class offender, parole eligibility date 2/24/2028. Good time, full term 9/24/2032, 24 years, commutation by the governor on 5/17/2023 for armed robbery. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please answer Mr. Marabella's question.
Good morning, Mr. Sneed. How are you?
Well, pretty good. You?
I'm doing well. Mr. Sneed, how old are you, sir?
39.
And how long have you been in prison on these charges?
16 years.
Tell me a little bit about your educational background. Before you go to school?
Got my high set whenever I was at Cotton Port. There, on my way to the welding boat tech. The welding boat tech, I came to police barracks where I got on electrical 1 and 2 NCCER certifications. I've self-taught myself how to use CNC machines by getting programs in. I did self-learning from Hobart Technical College on welding and pipe fitting.
How long have you been at the police barracks?
About 6-7 years.
And what's your job there?
I'm pretty much everything. I'm in the welding shop. I'm a welder and mechanic.
Tell me a little bit about Douglas Sneed at 24 years old, whatever the age that you were when this crime was committed. Tell me what was going on in your life.
You know, I got to running with the wrong crowd. Just started partying and drinking, doing drugs. Before you know it, I'm getting a phone call on me and 2 other guys. Our guy calls me and tells me.
Before we get there, let's slow down just a little bit. Tell me about your drinking and drugs. When did you start using drugs?
Probably at about 20.
And what were you using?
Meth.
How often were you using that?
On a daily basis.
For how long? You were 24, so for 4 years? You
Yes,
were
sir.
using that every day?
Yes, sir. Pretty much every day.
Drinking as well? What were you drinking?
Beer, whiskey, whatever we could get.
So tell me what happened.
He called me one night and asked me if I take him to a house that they had $300,000 in it, and he's gonna give me X amount of money. So me and another guy go pick him up, and we ride over by the house. I really didn't think that he was gonna do what he was. I didn't even think he was gonna get out the truck and even go to the house. But anyway, I stopped. The guy that was with me, he ends up and agrees to go with the other guy, and they go to a house and home to a lady's house in the street. I've never met her, but they ended up beat her up on Star.
Back up just a little bit. Didn't y'all go there a couple of days before that?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that.
Drive over there. All 3 of us go to the house. We go around the house, take the light bulbs and stuff out. The dog starts barking, and we ended up and flee. But we ended up come out with a purse and some medications and stuff.
Now, who cut the wire? Didn't y'all cut her telephone wires both times?
We might have. I'm pretty sure we did. On this, the first time we went to the house, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure once the phone wires got cut, along with the security light bulbs took it out. The second time when we went to the house, I didn't actually go to the house that time. I stayed in bed.
Let me ask you this, why did y'all go back twice?
I have no clue. The second time that we went over there, I didn't think that Singletary was the guy that was wanting to go. I really didn't think he was going to go to the house. But once I pulled up to the place, we was probably an eighth of a mile, or a pretty good look on the distance through the woods. I didn't think that he would go do it by himself. I figured that we just drive on and it'd be over with. But the other guy that was with us, he volunteered to go with him, and then it just turned south.
Did you ever see the lady?
No, the only time I ever seen her was the pictures in on my evidence, so it broke my heart.
Let me ask you this, since you've been in prison, what have you thought about what you did?
Morning, whenever I got up and I put these clothes on, I looked in the mirror and I asked myself, how did I let myself get this far to be in this position? I wasn't raised like this. I mean, I disgraced my family, my friends, the community, and it's a pure embarrassment that I've done this.
This lady was 63 years old. She was disabled to some extent. What do you think her family feels? So what do you think she felt after this was all over?
Oh, it's quite devastating. Her family, the community. I mean, the community it happened in. I mean, things didn't happen like this out there. So I couldn't imagine what everybody was going through. I mean, for what I did, I could have not drove the guys over there. I mean, I could have just talked them out of it or whatever, but I chose to drive them guys over there. Whether I went in the house or not, I'm just as guilty as them. I mean, I was a driver. I mean, it's devastating.
What are some of the best programs that you've taken while you've been in prison? What's helped you the most, or what can you remember the most about some of the programs that you've taken?
Here recently, we took a victim awareness, and it opened my eyes on there's not just one victim in a crime. You got primary victim, the secondary victim, which is the victim's family, the community, my family, and everybody else. I mean, it showed me that your actions just don't affect you, it affects everybody. And I mean, I think about that a lot.
What would be your plan if you were to be released? Where would you go and live?
I would go back to my mom's. Got a job. I got several job opportunities, but I have a guaranteed job at home to get me started.
See, Mr. Myers is here. Are you going to go with the Parole Project for a while?
Yes, sir.
What do you anticipate doing with them?
Over there, I'm gonna find an AANA in my area. They're gonna help me with the sponsor and the procedures on all that. And I'm getting ready for society.
You know, methamphetamines is probably one of the most addictive drugs that you can take. So tell me how you're going to be able to stay clean when you get out. I mean, I know you've been clean for a long time, but tell me what your plan is to be able to stay clean when things don't go so well.
Well, I'm gonna reach out to people. I mean, if things is bad, I mean, I'm gonna reach out to my mom, people that I've met here or wherever. But I got a deep hatred in my heart for methamphetamine because of all this, because I've lost everything. My mom's lost stuff. And it's just damaged so many people. I don't even like, I'm not gonna be around.
Now, see, some of the work that you've done while you've been in prison involves this 12-step program with AA and NA. How important is that to you?
Can't memorize, or I can't recite everything on there, but first thing I know is you gotta admit you have a problem, and you gotta be able to go and get some help with that problem. And I have no problem asking anybody for help.
Do you think that AA is something that you'll have to continue to do?
I believe I want to, just to keep from coming back to prison. My mom, she has seeked out a couple places in town to do AA. One's at a church and one's further in town at a courthouse. But yes, sir, I'm definitely gonna participate in that.
Lieutenant, what can you tell us about Mr. Sneed?
A lot. First, and I told him I would do this. This table we're sitting at is one he just made. I can tell you the man is I can't even begin to express how talented he is. Woodworking, metal fabrication, mechanic. I believe if I told him to build a ladder to Jupiter, he'd bring it. It'd be done this afternoon. Just because that's how he is. We've had no problem out of him. He's probably one of our most trusted guys we have here. Very rarely am I at a loss for words, and I don't know how to express what he has done for us here, how much he has helped this program. But I can tell you on a personal level, he said he would reach out to people if he ever needed help. He will have my number, my personal number, and I will do whatever I can to help him. He deserves that from what he's done for us.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Appreciate your comments.
All right, Carrie, would you like to make a brief statement?
Yes, good, just afternoon now. So good afternoon. We're going to support Mr. Sneed through his transition. He is, as Lieutenant Burns said, extremely talented. He's not going to want at all for employment opportunities, but beyond that, his participation, besides the fact that he already had skills, his participation in things like Toastmasters and AA, that has helped him mature as a person. He has strong support with his family. He has support here. You heard Lieutenant Burns talk about the support that he has. He's built those kind of relationships because of the character that he has. At the barracks, he's had a lot of opportunities to go off path if he wanted to, but he hasn't. Once he gets to Parole Project, we'll make sure he has a substance abuse evaluation, that he follows the recommendations of that evaluation. We will connect him to his services. We know that Mr. Sneed is going to be an asset, and so we just asked this board to grant his parole today.
All right, thank you. Miss Susan?
Can you hear me now?
You can, yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Susan Hamby. I'm Douglas's mother. I want you to know that Douglas will have a great support system at home and in the community. I just retired from Walmart recently. I was asset protection manager, so I have a great rapport with all the policemen, whether it's the city, sheriff's department, state police here in Vernon Parish. Also, he's going to be living with me on our 30 acres. He has no children, but he does have a sister and 2 nieces that are ready for him to come home. For 15 years, they went to see him as much as they can. And he loves them so much and regrets not being here. When Kayla graduated last year, Kristen's graduating this year. My mother, Cody's grandmother, lives right across the street from me, or the road. We're in the country. She's 84 years old. He's lost his grandfather, his other grandmother, and his father since he's been gone, along with a lot of other family and friends, and it's really hurt him. And one of his biggest fears is we've lost so many that he was afraid I would not be here when he came home. He's got a lot of job offers. He's got a lot of friends that's going to help him any way they can. He's mastered welding and a lot of things since he's been at the barracks. Everyone seems to respect him, and he highly respects everyone down there. So I'm just praying today that you'll see fit to send him home to us. I believe he's ready.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, Douglas, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for the opportunity. I'm sorry for come to my community for everything that I've done. And I probably will make mistakes throughout my life, but it won't be because of drugs, alcohol, guns.
All right, thank you. So you're going back home to Vernon Parish after you get through the parole project?
Oh, yes, sir.
Where's that, Leesville around, or where is it, around that area?
Yes, sir.
You know an old fellow named Jim Wise?
Yes, sir, I know.
About all we can do is laugh. You're about right. That's about all you can do is laugh when you think about Big Jim. All right, is the panel prepared to vote? Mr. Marabella?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Based upon the comments by Lieutenant Burns, based upon the work that you've done, you've got good support, you've got a good transition plan. You're a trusted prisoner, and you've got good family support. My vote today would be to grant your parole to the Louisiana Parole Project, to follow the conditions, that you follow all of their recommendations, which will include, in addition to whatever recommendations they have, 3 AA meetings per week. I'd like you to do, after you've been out for about 3 or 4 months, I'd like you to do 5 hours of community service work per month to assist in your community when you get home. So that's my vote. Good luck to you.
Ms. Wise?
Mr. Sneed, when I read the report, I just wasn't expecting you and how you presented today. I believe you. I believe you're never coming back. I believe that you are ashamed of what you've done and what you happen to add to your name on that night. So my vote is the same for the same reason. I wish you well.
Thank you, man.
All right, 2 votes to grant, also a good vote to grant your parole. With the same stipulations, 3 times a week in AAA, you have 5 hours a month of community service. You've done well. So 3 votes to grant today. Your parole's been granted. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.